Our tapping theme today is tapping to help you get rid of that belly fat. Yes, believe it or not, it actually works. You can actually tap to help release belly fat. Tapping to reduce belly fat. Let me do a bit of a preamble to help you explain how EFT can help you release that belly fat. The biggest misnomer, I think, when it comes to weight loss, and particularly visceral belly fat, which we gain as we're going through our perimenopausal, menopausal, and postmenopausal years, is that visceral belly fat is very different from subcutaneous fat. And that's the stuff that you put on maybe over Christmas, Easter, you're away for holidays. That's the weight you normally put on. And we put that weight on because we're changing our way of doing things. We're not as probably, mindful of the foods that we eat, probably not drinking enough water, maybe not getting enough exercise. Visceral fat's a combination of usually stress, lack of sleep, too much sugar, and as well as our change in our gut microbiome as we age. And it also leads to things like cardiovascular disease, type 2 diabetes, inflammatory diseases. So visceral belly fat is actually very dangerous for us. You can't diet it away, no matter what they say. You cannot diet visceral belly fat. Yes, you can choose to eat differently, but it's a combination of other things I was telling you about. So how does EFT work? Well, in particular, when it comes to visceral belly fat, it's the stress. As our stress levels rise, increases in cortisol and adrenaline, blood flow leaves the frontal lobes of the brain. That's important to remember. I'm going to explain that in a minute. Leaves the frontal lobes of the brain, goes to the arms and legs. That's our system that helps keep us in safe. Goes to the arms and legs in order for you to do something. When you do something like, kill the saber-toothed tiger or run from the guy that's going to shoot you with a spear, as your cortisol levels go down again, unless you're actually doing something to get rid of that stress, it will lay itself down around the belly, visceral belly fat. That's the body's job. Now, I want to go back to this frontal lobes. When the blood flow leaves the frontal lobe, what happens is we tend not to be able to make good decisions. And at that point, the stress responses kick in. Our brain goes looking for ways to calm it, to calm that central nervous system, and often we'll choose foods with a high serotonin or dopamine effect. And those are often carbohydrate type foods, sugary type foods, foods that send a quick message to the brain to calm it. But as you know, lasts about 5 minutes, your blood sugar level goes up, and then drops, and about 2 or 3 hours later, you're craving something else sweet again. So there's two aspects to this. Number one, reducing stress, and number two, tapping on changing the way we make choices. It's important that you really actually notice when you're stressed, and you reach subconsciously or unconsciously for the types of foods. When you think, oh God, I just would really like that pastry, or I'd really like something sweet. Check around, like, are you stressed? Like, are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling not in control of things that are happening at the moment? Remember, this is all physiological, so we don't actually have control over it unless we actually acknowledge the stress. So when you acknowledge the stress and lower the stress, then you simply are able to make better choices. That's how it works. I want you to just measure the level of stress, and I want you to think back to a time when you perhaps would reach for something sweet or savory or salty. I just want you to think about the types of foods that you tend to reach for. It might be a glass of wine, whatever it is. Those are the types of things we reach for when our stress levels are high, our anxiety levels are high. And I always have an argument every time with many people in the fitness industry at the moment, because they're still doing this calorie in, calorie out thing. And I think that's really detrimental to women, because we will automatically go to restricted eating. When they say, calorie in, calorie out, or you have to reduce calories, women, we automatically will go to restricted eating. and missing out on nutrients at that point. So stress tapping is really important at this point, because if you get into tapping a lot, what you will do, you'll get into the habit of recognizing the stress, and your choices get better. When those choices get better, that's the way it works. On a scale of 1 to 10, I want you just to, at the moment, think of something that's stressing you. Something that's causing stress. And I want you to, A, put a number to it, and B, where is it? Okay. Tapping. And again, use the word that's right for you. Okay. Even though I can feel this stress right now, and I know sometimes I will reach for food to try and calm that stress. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though I can feel this stress, I can feel it in my gut. And it's about a level, say 8. I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. Even though I can feel this stress, and I can feel that I would love to have something sweet or savory or a glass of wine, whatever it is, to release it, I deeply and completely accept myself and how I feel. All right, let's go tapping. This stress I feel, this level 8 stress. I know normally I'd reach for whatever it is, but I choose to release this stress. I choose to release this stress. I choose to allow my body to calm. This stress I feel, triggering an old pattern of reaching for whatever it is. The stress I feel in my gut. This level 8 stress. Choose to release this stress, so it doesn't turn into belly fat. I'm focusing on this stress right now. I choose to let my body release it. I choose to acknowledge this stress that I feel. Just take a deep breath and let it go. So just write down if that stress has come down or gone up. Mine was an 8. This will be a 6. Let's do another round, shall we? Okay, this stress I feel in my body, this stress I usually choose to eat stress away. I choose to acknowledge this stress. I choose to focus and release this stress. This stress I feel this stress in my belly, and I choose to release it. Okay, now I want you to write down, just go back and measure that stress again. Mine's down to about a 3.5. But for the purpose of this exercise, we're going to reframe. Again, it's really, really beneficial if you can get down to a 2 or a 0. And really to tap on, okay, what's the food that you tend to reach for? So whether it be sugary and salty, let's do a round of that. And for you, and I'm just going to say sweet for the purpose of this, and the reason why I reach for that. Okay, so the sweet foods help me feel calm. Let's do one more round. Tapping. I usually reach for sweet foods. The sugar calms me down. Even though it doesn't last long, sometimes it's easier just to reach for the sugar. Now be specific about what it is. Like I'm going to say ice cream. Sometimes I just reach for the ice cream. Because for a moment it makes me feel better. This ice cream that helps calm my stress. Impacts on my blood sugar. And I know it's not good for me. This ice cream that I eat help calm the stress. Only calms it for about 5 minutes until my blood sugar level spikes again. This ice cream that reduces the stress. Ice cream that reduces the stress. Okay, take a deep breath. Whew. Mine's down to a 0 now. I don't think I'm going to get ice cream tonight. That's when you know it works, right? It's when you feel like, I don't really want to have that. All right, we're going to now do a reframe round. And just to lock this in, but again, this is a good one to do, like you're standing in front of the food, just to tap. So, you know, if you reach for the chocolate biscuit or the cake or whatever it is, and stand in front of the food before you eat it and just tap to see if you really want it. Okay, let's do a reframe round. Okay, even though my stress level has dropped a lot and I don't feel like the ice cream anymore, I choose to honor my body with healthy choices. Even though in the past, reaching for the ice cream was the quickest way to reduce my stress, I choose to release it and trust in my body. One more. Even though my stress level's down to 0, whatever it is, I choose to honor my body, take time before I reach for food. I choose to honor my body with healthy choices. Okay, here we go. I choose to take time. I choose to honor my body. I choose to value my body. I choose to make the choices that honor and value my body. I choose to make healthy choices. I choose to identify the stress and take time. Release the stress and make healthy choices for my body. Take a deep breath and let it go. Okay, so now that's one to do every time if you want to reach for something. Just stop for a minute. Let me tap. Do I really want this? Do I really want this? As you're lowering the stress, remember you're also helping release the visceral fat because you're letting go of the stress. And then by then making the healthier choice, so you're not keeping those blood sugar levels high. I look forward to speaking with you next week as we tap our way to health and vitality and to age well. All right, see you next week. Bye.